Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you found your way here. My name is Laura Mickler, Coach Laura, as I'm known, and I'm so excited to have you here for the first episode of our podcast, Eldest Daughter Saves the World. So, chances are, if you are not an oldest daughter yourself, you are being supported by one in some kind of way. So, that's what this podcast is going to aim to do. We're going to be a little bit therapeutic, a little bit funny, and a little bit practical advice because we want you to get out and fix those things that are driving you crazy. So that's really the purpose of our Eldest Daughter Saves the World podcast. So let's talk about it a little bit. I want you to know a little bit about me. So to start with, I grew up in a very small town in Indiana. I still live here in Indiana, not too far from where I grew up. And if you can imagine a 10th grader with her business suits and her planner, that was me. And so I joke that I'm getting more fun as I get older. But as I get older, I also, and through a lot of therapy, am realizing that I was an eldest daughter and was completely encompassing that behavior. So let's talk a little bit about why eldest daughters seem to have their own club. And if you are an eldest daughter, you're probably screaming, yes, takes one to know one, right? We recognize this in each other. So eldest daughters tend to take charge and take care of everyone. And why is this? It's part of, we're the practice kid. We're the first daughter. And, girls are, for a lot of negative things in the world, we're also seen as being very capable. So we, a lot of times, are put in charge with responsibilities that can be for younger siblings, that can be for helping out around the house, whatever it is. I remember I started cooking dinner when I was in sixth grade just to help my mom because she was working full time. So we pick up a lot of these traits as we go. And so eventually we are just ready to take over, and we have in a lot of ways. One thing that I think is hilarious, there is a meme going around that people have sent to me no less than 15 times, and that is that eldest daughters are the strongest men you know. And I think that there's a lot of reasons for that. We are supposed to just do the thing without failing, which we a lot of times will do. We have a lot of hypervigilance when it comes to keeping track of people, and we are going to have a whole episode on ADHD and anxiety. Don't you worry, because that has been the consequence of a lot of this for a lot of us. So, we have spent that time becoming parents before we were ever parents. And that has created that need for control for a lot of us. So, trying to figure out what that looks like. And I apologize, my dog is barking in the background, but she's fine, I promise. So, one thing that eldest daughters try to do very frequently is to solve everyone's problems. So, I'll use myself as an example. I have a younger sister. She is a perfectly capable, wonderful professional, but she still sends me her things to proofread because that is just what I'm known as, the person that, Laura will make sure that there's no grammatical errors or, spelling mistakes or anything like that. A lot of that is a trauma response for us. We don't want to fail. We're just trying to save everyone so that there's no issues. We smooth everything out at the expense of our own self. And so I really, take care of the eldest daughters that because a lot of us are pushing down a lot of our feelings and not really getting to where we want to be. So I want you to think about, as we go through before you listen to the next episode, placing a boundary, right? Is there something, and even if you're not an eldest daughter, placing a boundary, something that you can do just to protect yourself. Maybe it's, I will not respond to text messages after 10 p.m. That's an easy one, right? No one is really going to be offended if you decide to go to sleep. But a lot of us would, oh my gosh, they really need me to answer this question. Unless it's an emergency, I doubt that it is that deep, right? We need to be able to take care of ourselves. So what we're building here together, like I said, I want to bring a lot of humor into this. And I joked with some friends that I should do a whole episode on why the dishwasher needs loaded in a certain way, right? A lot of us have these tendencies that really, just come through with the control. I have had to learn to let that go. The dishes are still clean, even though they probably could be cleaner if they were, loaded my way, but we're all on this journey together. We're not broken. We are just way overdeveloped in certain areas of our lives. And if you are not an oldest daughter, there's still going to be a lot from this podcast that you can take. So I am the eldest daughter taking control to share a lot of these things with you. And I'm really excited about some of the episodes we have coming up this whole season. So I'm excited to share to get some friends. And I'm hoping at the end of our season, we have what I'm calling the Council of Elders, because a lot of my friends have ended up being eldest daughters and just kind of sharing some things that we are going to have here. But we're going to have kind of this, comedy, therapeutic, practical setup as we go through this season. So I'm going to share lots of personal stories as we go through. I would love to hear from you also if you are an eldest daughter and or are supported by an eldest daughter. I'm actually hoping to have my sister on here as well so we can talk about what it's like to live with an eldest daughter, right? To grow up in a house with someone who is just very, by the book and has to have everything a certain way. And I'm sure that that comes with its own challenges. So I hope everyone has a wonderful time. We will see you for the next episode. And until then, take care of yourself and go and save the world in your own way.